Welcome back to another Chef Knives to Go Quick Look product review. I'm Steve Gamache, and what we have is the Tojiro Pro Series R-2 stainless Gyuto 240mm knife. So this multi-layered construction knife has a core steel of R-2, also known as SG2, powdered metallurgy, full stainless steel with fine grain and excellent edge retention. It's reasonable to sharpen with good sharpening stones. Takes a little more work, but the trade-off is excellent edge retention. They take it to a high hardness of 64 on this line, so again, biased towards edge retention. They're quite thin at the edge, and you've got hard steel, so you've got to have decent technique with these to avoid microchipping. But proper technique and respect will get you performance and great edge retention. Awesome in a pro environment. The construction is 3 layers, so on either side of that harder core stainless steel, the R2, you've also got a softer stainless steel cladding. You can see that cladding line right there. And we'll get a close-up look at the blade in a minute. The weight is about 8.9 ounces or 253 grams. Edge length is right about 9.6 inches or 244 millimeters on this one. 14.5 inches overall length. Spine thickness. So this is about 2.2 millimeters coming out of the handle. Pretty much just holds at about 2.2 halfway down. Not a ton of distal taper, but when you hit the grind, they do thin up pretty nicely towards the tip. So they've got good performing tips, but the blade is fairly stiff. The height is generous, 48.6 millimeters, so you got loads of clearance here. Balance point, we'll get to the handle in a second, but it's a micarta handle, so it's a little heavier than the equivalent pack of wood. But there's your balance point. Handle, one of the coolest things about this line is the handle, because it's black micarta, which is a more stable material than black pack of wood, so it'll be more resistant to moisture, shrinkage. It's almost just going to be a bulletproof handle, so fantastic in a pro environment. This handle will wear really, really well. You've got nice fit and finish on the blade itself. You can see our cladding line there. You've got screened on kanji and maker information. Back side of the blade is plain. They don't put a lot of relief on the corners of the spine or the choil, so you'll probably want to take a little sandpaper to these areas and kind of relieve those corners just a little bit to make it more comfortable. At least I would if it was my knife. I'd say out of the box edge on this was a good 6 out of 10, nice and sharp, although you can get them sharper, of course. But pretty decent for a factory edge. Let's see what else here. I talked about the fact that they're very thin at the edge. They're high-performance knives. Superb in a pro environment or at home if you like edge retention. Here's the profile. Very smooth profile. You can see you got a little bit of flat towards the heel, and you got a fairly aggressive belly towards the tip, so I can get pretty high with this. So this should do a nice kind of all-arounder style profile job on rocking, push-pull cuts, a little bit of chopping towards the heel. It's not a pure chopper, but it's pretty versatile profile. Just a really nice knife. In terms of handle size, I did not mention this on the 210, but if you apply this to the 210 video, very, very similar handle size to the Tojiro DP line. So the Fujiwara FKM are a little thinner, a little more slender handles versus these are the Tojiro DPs. So it's got a little bit of meat to it. It's just kind of a good hand-filling handle. Again, the Fujiwara FKMs are just a little more slender than these. So there you go. So this is the Tojiro Pro R-2 stainless Gyuto 240mm knife.